Welcome back to Cryptopia, where we go over the wet and wild happening in NFT land. Don't forget to like and subscribe on your way in today. Working off a hangover. Brain's a little slow. What are we talking about? The news. That's what we're talking about. So everything you need to know about Opensea's massive data breach. Okay, so turns out recently I saw this. I paid very little mind to this at all. Probably should have paid more mind to it because I guess technically my email could have been compromised for this, but I didn't get anything from Opensea, so I don't know. So last night, well, this was like June 30th, June 29th, something like that. Opensea, widely regarded as the world's most popular NFT marketplace, dropped a bombshell of a blog post. According to their report, they use customer.io as an email vendor. The problem: one of the vendor's employees misused their employee access to download and share email addresses of Opensea users with an unauthorized third party. Nice job, dude. Ultimately, the scale of the security breach seems to be simply massive. Oh, great. Simply massive. Just fucking-normous. The large chunk of Opensea active user base of over 1.5 million, in addition to anyone who subscribed to its newsletter, may have had their email addresses compromised. If you shared your email with Opensea in the past, you should assume that you were probably impacted in some way, shape, size, or form. So essentially, emails are out. People reported getting, swamped with spam emails and probably some scams written into there as well. And a whole bunch of other nonsenses, just they're getting calls, they're getting text messages too. It's chaos, right? So what did they do about this? Well, they said that there are not much they can do. Your emails have already been compromised. So if you don't change your email, it's still compromised? Yeah. They already own them all, so whoever did this already has them all, so that's kind of it. So this opens up the potential. Now, I think it was just a third party. I don't know if it's necessarily a huge hacking on the go, but because this third party has all these access to these email addresses, you can assume that there can be an uptick in phishing scams and whatnot, potentially, right? So, ironically enough, people were having a laugh because Opensea had to inform people about this, right? So, on top of Twitter, blogs, or whatever, they also sent out an email. And so this person responded with, "Opensea, we leaked your email address. Watch out for phishing attempts. Anon, how do I know if I was affected? Well, we'll email you." So, well, what are you going to do? How else are you going to do this? They can call and text everybody else, but they also have to email everybody. So, it's yeah, the contact information has been breached, but they also have to use the same contact information to inform you of the breaching. Hilarious, but just the way things are. So be careful. I say it every single time, every single video, I'm pretty sure. Watch out what you're clicking on. Just because it even comes from the main source, or it seems like it comes from them, that don't mean anything. Bored Ape has got their Twitter hacked, their Instagram hacked, you know what I mean? So, and these are the people, and it's not even like it's pro hacking in the sense of it's a brute force hacking. It's literally, it's hey, click this link, thanks. And then boom, that's it. It's way, and what seems to be way more efficient way of actually hacking somebody than actually doing it the cool movie way that people show, the Mr. Robot way, where everything's a brute force attempt to get in. And moving on. So Timberland, if you didn't know, is a rapper. And he owns Bored Ape 9590. So what he's basically been doing is he also runs Ape In Productions. And Ape In Productions has a few different, I believe a few different Bored Apes on there. And when you get a Bored Ape, you get the ability to kind of run with that IP and do with what you so want. So Timberland has created this alter ego called Congo. That's the new name of Bored Ape 590, which kind of allows him to create this digital artist for the Metaverse and, other events, I guess, and things that, because I think they showcased a lot of this in Ape Fest, and you got to see it. So now it's available. They did talk about like, so he talks about it in Ape Fest, and it's kind of like a weird thing. So like apparently he and Congo are like meta beefing or whatever, because what you have is Congo saying, I'm the new next step in music and technology, and you're the old way, and I'm going to show you kind of what the new industry of music is going to look like. Watch me eat your old news, Timberland. And so I mean, I get the idea and the fantasy around it, or like the story he's built around that whole concept and idea. A little weird still. The music video, you can find this on Glass, by the way. You can find the I'm not going to play the song because I'm not going to get flagged. Anyways, so it's featuring Congo and Pinky. There's Timberland right there, and it's not it's like the song is fine. I mean, it's Timberland, like he knows what he's doing. He's been making music for years. You know what I mean? So he knows what he's doing. The song itself isn't bad at all. What is a little bit weird is the animation. I think it's made with Unreal Engine, but it's also like there's another music video that came out very recently as well around the Ape Fest time for that as well, which was the Snoop Dogg and the Eminem music video. The animation in that, to me, is a lot better. It's not the 3D stuff, it's 2D, but it's got different styles sort of mixed into it throughout the video, and I think that comes off a lot nicer. This, is relatively smooth, but it just kind of looks weird. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't really look proper. I'm looking at it, it's a little bit horror movie-esque. So I think they need to maybe, develop a specific sort of animation style that they want to stick with. And I mean, not that you can't play with multiple. I just don't know if this is the one. Also, this cost like $400. That's a lot of money for one music video, one song. I get the historical significance. If the metaverse and everything were to take off, this might be worth way more in the future as like kind of the grandfathering of it, like the first tweet, which by the way now sells for nothing. So take that into consideration, that even if this were to blow up in terms of the metaverse and music and everything were to come around full force, it might not even be worth the $400 you paid for it. But anyways, that's what's going on with those guys. And like I said, the song's pretty cool. You can check it out. Glass.xyz. You can find it there. It's actually right as you enter their page. You'll scroll down a little bit and it should be right there. But again, it's not the animation. I think could use some work personally. But other than that, it's gonna be cool. Like, I'd love to see what there's a lot of metaverse music stuff going on. And NFTs are a really good tool for artists. So I'd love to see what musicians can do with it later on, and like kind of move past the big production houses or whatever and go straight to the fans, right? Artist fans. Bam bam. So hundreds of Bored Ape owners sign up to hire out their NFTs to brands. I think this is a really dope idea. So essentially what you're getting here is this company called Mouse Belt Labs launched the marketplace called Bored Jobs, claiming it will list all 10,000 NFTs. So essentially what it means here is that you can put up your Bored Ape, and they essentially will have brands on there that can come and look at your Bored Ape and commission your Bored Ape for maybe one job, two jobs, or subscribe to it or something like that for multiple uses, and allow you to make some passive income like that, which I think is a really cool concept. They have over here, we are simply adding a way to connect brands and apes, because currently there is no easy way for parties to message each other. Deal terms, or if there is even a deal, license terms, details, etc., will be 100% negotiated between the two parties, right? And then I think they have a smart contract that'll sort of like solidify everything once the deal has been decided by you guys. Lock that in, and then you go. So I think that's a really cool idea. I think later on, as other projects starts to get on the level of Bored Ape, and then there are kind of already projects that are getting very close to that, but the notoriety isn't necessarily there. A lot of people don't know any other NFTs except for the Bored Apes one, despite there being a ton of other NFTs that are very highly regarded in the space. So this, I think, is a pretty cool idea. We'll have to see if it actually becomes anything But I think this is a really nice idea to just sort of have a place where you can post your NFT and create some brand deals with people, make it more, maybe even make it like a Fiverr, like I'm offering you this much, like package deals, make it a little bit faster and negotiating a constant deal. But who knows, whatever, right? Like whatever it is that people want to decide to do, that's the whole point of Web3. So I think that's a dope idea. So next we got the metaverse now has roughly the same SE population as dating sites. So this is like a South African, South Africa social media landscape report. So half of adults in South Africa are active on social media, and a growing number have started exploring virtual worlds for the metaverse. Facebook remains the most popular social media site in South America, with 22 million local users having been active on the network in the past 7 days. That's a little surprising to me. I don't know how popular Facebook is. To be honest, I don't know how popular Facebook is today in the West, because I feel like nobody I know really talks about Facebook at all, right? You got Twitter, Instagram, kind of the main ones. TikTok is in there too, but I personally don't like TikTok. But obviously, TikTok's a little bit like a generation behind me, I guess. That really, really like it, but my generation loves it too. So I'm surprised that Facebook is still booming in South Africa for some reason. But anyways, there was a study that was released, relies on data compiled by Ask Africa in its biannual target group, basically figuring out that people actually do, like, so most people are into the space. They have like 16.1% of adult South Africans that participated in the metaverse. Its broad definition kind of makes this a little bit weird, but it's roughly the same amount of people that are on dating apps in South Africa. But yet the metaverse is not seen on par with that. So dating apps are pretty mainstream and seem that way. And despite the numbers in South Africa being very similar, they're not really viewed as mainstream yet. That's just, that's just part of the course. It's more like a knowledge thing as opposed to a popularity thing. A lot of people are aware of the metaverse, but they don't really know what the metaverse is. And it says so in this article. It's a very broad term, it seems. So people are a little bit confused still about it. So even though there are tons of people who are, or like enough people actively on it to define it as maybe mainstream, the knowledge awareness isn't really mainstream. So it's not talked about in happenstance. Like dating apps is a very easily talked about subject these days. Right. So in other words, there are not necessarily people actively entering the virtual world, but the experience of participating in the interactive, immersive environment gives them a greater propensity to enter metaverse alternatives like Second Life, Decentraland, and Ubuntuland. So, yeah. So then they're also talking about video games in this sense, I guess, as well. They're not really just talking about like Decentraland, for example, right? All kinds of other metaverses that we've had prior. So I think they asked a bunch of people about this. Like Metaverse was like on Twitter like 100,000 times over the past year. Definitely over the course of the last year. I mean, that's like everyone was like, that was the peak of NFT. So everyone was talking about like where they're going, and Metaverse was the big thing, right? Every other project I read about was Metaverse. We're going to enter the Metaverse. We're going to bring this to the Metaverse. That's the whole thing. So I think they took another study with the majority of 86% expressing neutral sentiments for virtual worlds. Just 9% responded positively on the topic of metaverse, while 5% had the negative perspective or perceptions. So, I mean, that's fine. I mean, yeah, 86 is like, that's what I expect. People just don't know what the fuck is going on with it. So once it gets fully realized, once it's like talked about more, and it kind of solidifies itself in like a social media like idea, I'm sure you'll see more positive than you will negative. You're already seeing more positive than technically negative on the people who have sort of made their minds up. Everyone else is just sort of living their lives right now, trying to survive and trying to figure it out. So last, certainly not least, Kevin Hart to launch an NFT alongside his cinematic anthology. So Kevin Hart's actually pretty into the metaverse. I feel like I read about that a while back, but I haven't really addressed it in a while. So he's got this, he's got a kind of documentary called Confessions from the Hart. It's a 30-minute 3D animated anthology which takes viewers on Hart's star-studded journey of ups and downs within the comedy and film industry, and will premiere exclusively on Roku TV on July 6th. I have a Roku TV and it is almost July 6th, so I might watch that. On the day following the premiere, which will be July 7th, Hart's own media company, Hart will launch a namesake collection of 10,000 NFTs, which feature a 3D PFP style image of the eccentric Kevin Hart alter ego. The NFT will drop on Hart's Metaverse-centric website, Kevin Hart Nation, which is this one. And you can see, I had no idea what I was going to get when I clicked on this. This is not what I thought was coming. But that's cool. It's just a bunch of Kevin Hart, 3D renditions. If you're really into Kevin Hart, like, I don't mind him, but I don't know if I'd buy an NFT of him. Other perks of ownerships include access to exclusive Discord channel, as well as benefits IRL and Metaverse experiences from the Kevin Hart Nation, such as content and tickets to his upcoming comedy tour. So, I mean, we saw this. We saw, what was it? I forgot the guy's name. The guy who plays Hannibal, tweeting out, hey, Snoop Dogg, what kind of NFT should I be looking into? You have, don't think I covered this story, but, God, I'm forgetting everybody's name right now. Matrix guy. Neo. Starts with a Kevin? No, I'm thinking of you, Kevin. Keanu. Does have a K in it. Keanu Reeves. Holy shit. Matrix is my favorite movie too. What the fuck? Anyways, so he was doing some NFT stuff with charity. We've had even Johnny Depp, who, he's just an artist who he's painting stuff, and you can actually find it on his website as well. So there's so many celebrities getting into the NFT space for this reason or that. So this is not new. I'm gonna click on this again, see what I see. Every time I click on it, it's just some next level shit. Anyways, guys, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Come back for the next one, and I will see you guys next time. Like, comment, and subscribe.